This cat.
I've got theories.
Prudence was the New York Ripper and collected a brand new cat every single time she killed somebody.
That is a real. I think that she used to smuggle drugs so she could afford to live in New York, and that cat is full of cocaine.
It's high as fuck.
There's something they keep focusing on it. Cat is sus.
But do you think it's cocaine? Because I think that cat looks a little more like it's in a K-hole.
That would be. It's a cat. That fits perfectly.
Ketamine.
Oh, you just blew my case wide open. This is it.
Yep. Season 2 of Dexter Resurrection. There's going to be a ketamine theme. I'm calling it now.
Prudence was the #1 K dealer in Queens.
Anyway,
you heard it here first.
Yeah. All right. We're talking about episode 8 tonight. So let's just hit that intro and get into it. No, for real though, that cat does look like it's on ketamine.
It's on something. That is not a sober cat.
What's up, guys? I'm Kelly, probably going to throw away my shot keen.
I'm Jazzy, Hamilton's Thetan level shamanic.
And no, I do not think that Prudence was the Ripper. I'm just being silly. But I do think something is up with that cat. Like, for real.
I think it's full of treasure.
He did shake it in this episode.
I love that he just is like petting it. Like,
yeah.
Like Dr. Evil. Like, just
I know.
It's precious.
I know. It is precious. But I think it's like they keep drawing attention to it. And I think it's interesting that it's looking up. Upstairs to blessings. Or blessing list. I don't know what that means. But I feel like the only thing that I can think of, I do think it's going to be significant. And the only thing that I can think of is that there is an opening in the cat somewhere to hide stuff. And someone's going to hide murder evidence in there.
Ooh.
And it's going to be found.
That's a good theory. That's a solid theory.
But yeah, we can get into our theories and our top and bottom fives and our MVP and LVP and all that very soon. But let's start with the recap. If you're not familiar with how we do things here, we start off with a detailed recap, and then we go into our top and bottom fives. If you are listening to this and you are always finding yourself skipping through the recaps because you're not a recap person, you can also go to our YouTube channel and check out the video that we have posted there. It's basically everything minus the recap. But if you enjoy the recaps because you tend to miss things, kind of like I do, or you just like to follow along with podcasts and don't necessarily watch the episodes, which is crazy to me. I could never do that, but I know a lot of people are kind of like that. Then you'll enjoy the recaps. But we do mark the chapters. So if you want to skip past, we make it easier for you to do that. Otherwise, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's do it.
This episode is called The Kill Room, Where It Happens. What's funny about this episode, when I saw the end scene for the first time, my first thought was like, oh, that's so nice. Dexter's like using some of his Prater money to take Harrison to like some swanky ass place.
Yeah.
Then I was like, and then I immediately was like, oh yeah, okay, he's in a swanky restaurant. You know, Prater's gonna show up.
Yeah, it blew my mind. I was not suspecting that at all.
Yeah,
intense. Like Dinklage looks so evil. Like
I know.
It was great. I was shook.
Yeah. I I want to, honestly, if I did things how I want to do them and not what's best for the show, I would just take my top 5s and just make it all Charlie's satisfied smirk at the end.
She's so jazzed with her. She's just like, oh, I did it. I knew you were hiding something.
I love it. Yeah, I can't wait till she and Dexter get married in season 2 or season 3.
For sure. They belong together.
They do. They're perfect for each other. I mean, come on. But yeah, it's just another banger of an episode. Every single episode has been a
so
banger.
Good. I've loved the series so far.
Same. I'm so glad Clyde Phillips is back. Seriously. I trust him. Unfortunately, we did get some bad news this past week, and that is that Original Sin, which was renewed for season 2 back in April, has been unrenewed, which absolutely sucks giant donkey balls.
Yeah.
I can't stop talking about how upset I am about this, so I need to shut up because I could be here for like an hour.
It sucks.
Yeah.
It's a huge bummer.
I mean, it's what got me excited about Dexter again.
Yeah.
Because, like, I went into it kind of begrudgingly, like, because I've watched every episode of Dexter New Blood. I felt like I had to, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, ugh.
New Blood was kind of a slog.
I wasn't that into it. I was kind of opposite of the rest of the audience. Like, It seems like the rest of the audience kind of liked it, but hated the finale. And I was just kind of like, meh, with most of it, but actually really liked the finale. But I kind of went into Original Sin begrudgingly and absolutely fucking loved it. And I remember saying to my husband, like, I don't want to see all of these different actors playing these characters that I've watched for so many years. Casting fucking nailed it.
Yeah. I'm really disappointed we're not going to get more, especially if Christina Milian's LaGuardia.
She's
God, so great.
Seriously.
Yeah.
She has, like, she and Patrick Gibson have their characters, they have studied their mannerisms.
Also, I don't know the actor's name, but the guy who plays Batista is fantastic.
Oh, yeah. David Martinez, I think.
Yeah.
James Martinez. Yeah. They're all fantastic. They're so good.
I hope they do that decision. It's been, first of all, it's a successful show. There's no reason to cancel it. They ratings wise, viewership, it's doing great.
Seriously.
Like, the cast is stacked. They don't have to, spoilers, they don't have to pay Patrick Dempsey next season.
Yeah.
I'm also just tired of Sarah Michelle Gellar vehicles getting canceled after the first season.
Yeah.
Like, give my girl a break.
Yeah. That's kind of
come on.
But I am so pissed. Like, they give me the excellence that is Christina Milian as Maria LaGuardia.
Yes.
And then take it away. Like, no, I need more. Christina Milian, I know you're watching this because you're like our biggest fan. Thank
you for movie surfers.
How much we need to pay you to just, like, we'll both go to Jazz's house because she's in LA. I mean, let us know how much we need to pay you in order to just, like, create new scenes and act them out as Maria LaGuardia, please. Because I'm so sad.
I'm really bummed about it. And we never got Young Dokes.
I know.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible decision.
There were so many things I was looking forward to.
The fan response has been loud.
Yeah, it has been
intense. And I
It's
hope
been
they
very
rethink
loud.
that decision, because there's like Paramount Plus needs content. Like they have the Star Trek stuff that's doing pretty well, but all of the Star Trek shows are ending this year, the live action ones. Like Discovery's already over. Strange New Worlds is ending this year.
Yeah.
Yellowstone's done. The Yellowstone like reboot is done, or prequel series is done. They just have like the Dexter universe and Yellow Jackets right now,
Yeah.
and like I don't know. I think that was a terrible move on their part.
Seriously. I will tell you one thing though. I'm assuming that the Trinity prequel is now not happening. But if it does and Original Sin is still not happening, I will be fucking pissed.
Yeah, that would be weird.
I know. I mean, I've seen it happen before where shows got canceled and the fan response was loud enough that it
Yeah,
brought it back. But there's no reason not to. It was super successful.
I think they did it to increase the budget of Resurrection, because
Yeah,
Resurrection
maybe.
is more successful. And I don't know. It was just, I think it's a terrible move. Paramount just had that
Same.
merger, and it was the new incoming people who made that decision, and it was not a good decision. This is just like when Zaslav took over WB and just canceled like everything on HBO.
Ugh, God.
It's been a bummer.
I'm so upset that I will not have any more Maria LaGuerta or Bindey Moser in my life.
Yeah.
God damn it. I'm so upset. I was so looking forward to seeing Brian in season 2.
Yeah.
I assumed that they were going to have him be a regular character. And I have two theories that I'm clinging to about the Ripper. One of them is Brian. By the way, sorry, I couldn't take the pantyhose in my head anymore. One of my theories was Brian, because I like looking at the victim photographs. They all seem to be dressed in like early to mid 90s clothing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought, like, okay, and they're really gruesome murders.
Yeah.
And Brian's murders continue to get more and more gruesome. And when we saw him on Original Sin, he was still experimenting.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that it would be an interesting tie-in to Original Sin. Like he's the Ripper, and then we see him in that timeline, like enacting the Ripper killings. I really thought that's going to happen, especially with like we got a tie-in in this episode with when Wallace was kind of flipping through articles on about Miami Metro.
Mm-hmm.
She saw an article here with you see Patrick Dempsey's picture there, and it says homicide captain Aaron Spencer missing after grisly discovery. And all that we see of the article is it says the Miami Metro Police Department has been rocked by a scandalous revelation as Captain Aaron Spencer, a longtime veteran of the force, has been identified as the prime suspect in the brutal murder of Jimmy Powell Jr. and the abduction of his own child. Authorities have launched an urgent manhunt as Spencer remains at large. The stunning revelation came late last night when new forensic evidence combined with testimony from Spencer's son, Nicky, and then that's where it cuts off. But it would have been a really interesting tie-in and a smart marketing move, you know?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, they could still have Brian be the Ripper, I guess. I'm not ruling it out. But I feel like if that's what they were going for and they weren't planning on revealing the Ripper until season 2, then I think they would be taking that off the table now.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
have to consider something else. But I mean, my other theory is Cooper.
Yeah. And that fits too. That makes sense.
Yeah. I don't think it's anybody else. I really don't. Unless it's somebody we just haven't met yet.
I thought that me guessing it was Blessing was like a way off the wall super weird guess, and like apparently a lot of people think that.
Yeah.
Like,
It's the
no,
whole
it's
too
not
good to be
him.
true thing, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
It would just
it's
hurt me so bad. I can't.
no, it's not gonna happen. I mean,
No, there's no way.
yeah, Dexter has Harrison, but that's different. It's his son. Like, you know, at some point, like, shit's gonna go sideways there. Like, they're gonna be at odds at some point. You know, it's just how these series work. I mean,
Mhm.
something will happen there, like Harrison will kill somebody again or whatever. It'll be back and forth. But, you know, Dexter always has to have like a couple of people that he's somewhat close with that are really good people that that call attention, that show that contrast
Yeah.
between why is it this person hanging out with Dexter, and that's obviously Blessing. So yeah, it's Blessing isn't that there's no way he's the Ripper. There's
Yeah.
just no way.
It was literally the only reason it was my theory is because I was like, who would upset me the most? It was
Yeah.
that was it. Like that was literally like I cannot handle it if he was the Ripper. I would jump into the sea with rocks in my pockets. Yeah, I don't really think that it's him.
I just can't with the Jonah Mitchell theory. Jonah Mitchell was not even born yet, like when those Ripper killings took place. I don't think so. I don't think he was. But I do, however, I do think that the cat could be the Ripper.
Yeah. That cat is guilty of something.
Yes.
War
Yes.
crimes.
Yeah, seriously. It's
Look
really
at
interested. It's super interested in Blessing's apartment because he keeps looking
Yeah.
upward. Or it's just in a K-hole. I don't know. Who knows?
Are you
But
still watching South Park? Do you ever watch South
I
Park?
haven't watched South Park in ages.
I just picked it up this season because of it's been in the news, but
Yeah.
they're trying to say I'm sorry. They spend the whole episode doing ketamine because that's what smart executives do, and they just Randy's just like the whole episode, then like we'll be in the middle of sentence. I'm in a hole. I'm in a hole. Cracked me
Oh
up.
my
Sorry,
God.
off topic.
That's hilarious.
You want to do our tops and bottoms?
Yeah, let's hit our kill table and our Saint Rita award first.
Yeah.
Who are you putting on your kill table?
My kill table is the Church of Scientology. I haven't been to New York since I moved to California because it's far and it's expensive. And I have not seen that there is a huge Church of Scientology in the theater district now, directly across the street from the Hamilton Theater. It broke my heart. Like it's
Yeah.
come at me. I don't care. You guys are evil.
Yeah.
It's just they're all over LA. They've bought up so much real estate, and
Ugh.
I hate seeing their ugly ass gray and green buildings. And it made me so mad to see it right in the freaking heart of New York City in the theater district. Like,
Ugh. I wish they'd all just go away. You don't know, like, how I have had to just make myself forget about the fact that Elizabeth Moss is a Scientologist because I fucking love her so much.
yeah, she was born into it.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, like, she's one of my favorite actresses, and
Where's Shelley?
Yeah, exactly. I have to, like, she's the one person who I have to forget about it because I just love her so much, and there's like such a cognitive dissonance. It's like
it's crazy to me that she has done The Handmaid's Tale for so long and still in that church. But
Yeah.
Not to get off topic, but where's Shelley?
I know. So Church of Scientology.
Who's on your kill table?
My kill table is it's a tough one, man. It's a really tough one this week. But I'm gonna go with Angel. I have to.
He's fucking up.
Like, dude, what is going on, man? Like, this is not normal.
He literally just needs a coffee and a cigarette, and this is the Pepe Silva wall. Like,
yeah.
Except he's right. He is right.
Yeah.
But to what end?
I mean, he knows that he can't, he knows that none of this is evidence.
None of it can be used.
Yeah.
It's all tainted.
He knows this. Like, the only thing that he could possibly do is walk in on Dexter killing somebody and record it, and then he'll be like brought up as an accessory to murder because he didn't intervene.
Even if he had stopped Vinny and gotten a statement from him, it wouldn't have meant anything because Vinny doesn't know who Dexter is. Yeah. He would not be able to identify him through his genius disguise of pantyhose. Like, none of that would have mattered.
Can we just take a moment to admire Pantyhose Head? Like, it's...
Where did he get them? Did he have them already?
I don't know. Maybe he stole a pair from Prudence after she died.
Like, that makes a lot of sense.
That's funny enough with them pulled over his head, but the it's even funnier sitting on his head like a lopsided hat.
Just the leg like flopped over.
Yeah, it's. I think we're supposed to meant to think it's a wig cap because he's in a wig
which
store.
would make so much more sense.
Yeah, but no, for some reason Dexter has a full-length pair of pantyhose, and it actually looks like there looks like there are a couple of pairs in there.
It does.
So we know his secret, I guess. I don't know. Like, he really likes pantyhose. But I mean, nothing beats a great pair of legs, right?
There
you go. But yeah, I don't know why we started talking about that. How we got from Angel to that. But Angel is going on my kill table because I can't. I don't know what he's doing. He's out of his fucking mind.
Yeah.
And he's breaking so many laws. So many laws. Who are you giving your St. Rita award to?
My St. Rita award is going to Dexter. I almost never pick Dexter, but
yeah,
I loved him. I loved this episode. I thought he was so great in this episode. Michael C. Hall is obviously having so much fun.
Yes.
His frustration with not being able to get Al, the way he's like holding and petting that cat to like self-soothe.
Yeah.
This entire scene with Vinny and him just doing it, like, what an insane way to go about helping his kid. But
I know.
I loved it. I adored him. I thought this is one. I love Michael C. Hall. I think he's brilliant every episode, but this is my favorite performance from him so far in the series.
Yeah.
He really just kills it.
Yeah, he really does have a. I think last week was my favorite Michael C. Hall week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this one was definitely good too. I'm actually going to give my St. Rita award to Harrison. Because he was just like, I don't know. This was just a very kind of wholesome episode for him.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean,
just a little cinnamon roll.
I know he really is. Like, he's trying to help out Elsa. He's teaching Dante about boats. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it was really sweet.
He's hooking up with Ashley Simpson.
Yeah, he's hooking up with Ashley Simpson.
It was really sweet of him to like be like, your dream's not over. There's other things you can do to like fight crime besides being a cop. There are better things you can do.
Jack Alcott is so wonderful.
He's perfect.
Yeah. Like the way that he says to her after she tells him that, the way that he looks at her and says, "I'm really sorry." There was just something so special about that.
Yes. He's just says he's an incredible actor.
I
really hope he has a long and excellent career because he is extremely talented.
Yeah. Yeah, he really is. Yeah, I'm so glad they chose to make him likable in this series because I wasn't the biggest fan of Harrison and New Blood.
He was a little emo.
Yeah, he was harder to like. Jack Alcott was always great.
Yeah.
But yeah, Harrison was a little harder to like in New Blood. But I mean, how can you not love him in this?
I have no idea.
I think he's one of the best Dexter verse characters ever.
Yeah.
Easily. Let's go on to our lows. What do you have for your number 5?
My number 5 is poor Mrs. Rapunzel. I know he's supposed to be a Josh Duggar like stand-in, but get off of her.
Yes.
Leave her alone. You have enough kids. That's all. Anytime he mentions his wife, that's all he talks about. He never says anything else about her. He's just like, I'm gonna get her pregnant again. Like,
oh my god.
Leave her alone.
Lord. How
I love how hateable Eric Stone Street is on this. Like, he's so lovable. And like he's even like playing him lovably. But he's just it's so easy. Like, I just hate him so much.
I know. Oh,
he's an awful monster person.
Oh man. Yeah, he's
a great job.
Yeah. He definitely needs to get off Bonnie. I think that was what Christian Ritter's character said. His wife's name was Bonnie. I don't know why I remember that, but my number 5 is this fucking asshole. I'm sorry, audio listeners. You need to go over to our YouTube episode for our YouTube channel for at least this episode just to see this fucking amazing picture. Of Vinny.
That's an incredible screenshot you got.
That's actually not a screenshot. That is from the press site.
Oh, nice. It's excellent.
Yeah, it's fantastic. But the look on his face is priceless. As a reminder, number 5s could be either something that just like it could be a plot hole, it could be something silly. We didn't like someone's hair, or it could be just like somebody did something really bad that we didn't like. So it could be any of those categories. It's really, we kind of have to do that with the show because it's so good that it's a little hard.
Yeah, mine are always just silly.
Yeah,
I love the show.
Yeah, same. Yeah. So my number 5 is Vinny fucking turning off the heat. Like, what an absolute dirtbag.
They're in New York. You can kill people that way.
I know. I mean, like,
definitely illegal.
He was already the worst landlord ever, but I mean, this definitely cements him as a total villain.
What the scene with him in the with the Dexter in the waiting room, and he's just like classic New York, like, no, tell him to get away, and he's like in this office chugging vodka, like he's just the worst. Like, They
Yeah.
really hit hard on how terrible he is.
Yeah, they do. Oh, Bobby Bacala, we don't like to see you like that.
No. I think he's going to come in tomorrow with a lot of flowers for his secretary.
Yeah. It would be great if, I mean, Bobby Bacala is dead, but it would be great if he had a twin brother who was Bobby Bacala, and like he came to see him at work, and he was just like giving teddy bear, like because he's Bobby Bacala. So it's like a Sopranos Dexter crossover.
I love that idea.
Yeah.
We need more crossover episodes.
Yeah, for sure. I miss those. God, shows used to do that in the 80s all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun. All right, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is I don't know if I trust Gigi. I don't know. Maybe she's just a really nice girl. I don't know. It's just all happening so fast. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just too attached to Elsa, but something about that situation is giving me the ick.
I agree.
I want Harrison to be happy, but I don't know about her.
I feel like I kind of feel like we're supposed to feel like that.
I hope so.
Yeah. It's she just seems placed really randomly.
Yeah.
She just kind of came out of nowhere. It's
why is she like how many tours a day do they have at the College of Criminology?
Seriously. Yeah, I don't know. But no, I completely agree with you. I think there's something.
Something's off.
Yeah, for sure.
She is a blonde woman, so she'll probably get fridged.
Oh yeah,
immediately.
For sure. For sure. Yeah, it's maybe she's just there to trigger Harrison to murder somebody else. I don't know.
I could see that. What's your number 4?
My number 4, Blessing. We love you. Why do you have to make us so sad by calling UC Berkeley a haven for leftist commies? The picture that I have up right now is of him confronting Dexter and telling him that he felt betrayed by him. I'm not faulting him for that. Like, I might not agree with him, but I could understand his side. I'm not faulting him for that. But man, leave the leftist commies alone, Blessing.
What do we do to you?
What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the quaint New York eatery of Applebee's. Come on. As soon as he said Cajun pasta, I knew.
Yeah. Oh my God, is that what he was?
Yes. I knew it was coming because there's like Applebee's right in Times Square.
And he talked about it like it was like
an actual he meant Applebee's. Yeah, which meant Dexter was going to eat at Applebee's twice.
Oh my God! Oh, that's awful. Like there are so many restaurants like Applebee's. There's Chili's. There's like lots of places like it. Applebee's is the fucking worst. The food is inedible. Okay,
it's all it's all microwave, like frozen food.
Yeah, it's
sorry
disgusting.
if you like Applebee's or if Applebee's is your jam. I hate Applebee's.
Yeah, it's gross. It's gross. Seriously, like it's the one place where if I get stuck having to go to because that's where whoever I'm with is taking us, I won't eat anything. I'll get a Coke or a milkshake. Like I can't. Oh God, it's so disgusting.
We used to go every Tuesday for karaoke, and I would never eat food.
Oh my God, that's so funny. It never, ever, ever. I made the mistake once of ordering a margarita at Applebee's. It was the most fucking disgusting margarita I've ever had in my life.
If you hope you like sour mix.
Oh my God, I thought I was gonna puke. But hey, they're paying for Uma Thurman.
I thought
So
this was the strangest product placement in the world.
yeah.
Like, what a weird call for Applebee's in
Right?
general. Like, I don't know if they were like, what's. I mean, there's a million. Like, they could have gone to the Times Square Olive Garden. That would have made more sense. I don't know. I just thought it was so strange that
Yeah.
that's where Al. I mean, it makes sense. That's where Al wanted to go.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. What's your number? What's your number 3?
Oh my God. Staying Alive needs to retire like yesterday. I'm done. Every fucking time it plays, I want to stab my speakers.
It's been in almost every episode. Is it public domain at this point? Like, I just don't understand.
I don't know.
It so much.
We need to make Wallace a new playlist because, like, I mean, every time I fucking hear it, I don't want her to stay alive.
There are better Bee Gees songs, even. Like, just come on. Come on, Wallace. Shake it up a little bit.
God, like, not. What is your number 2?
My number 2 is the confrontation between Blessing and Dexter. The final scene, like, shot where he says, "You've betrayed me." Like, it just broke my heart into a million pieces. It hurt me so bad.
Same.
I love him so much. It sucked. It sucked.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucked. I hate it. I don't like it. So my number 2, I haven't mentioned it all season. So I'm finally going to. It's been 8. I mentioned this during our after show that we had just prior to this, but it has been 18 episodes now since the original series finale, and still not a single fucking mention of Cody and Esther. I mean,
that's bizarre.
This is Dexter's family.
Yeah.
Like, are they okay? Are they even in this universe anymore? What is happening?
They're literally his children.
Yes.
They're his kids.
Like, I could understand that, you know, where the headspace that he was in when he survived driving his boat into a hurricane, he felt like he had to start over because nobody that he cared about was safe with him in their lives.
Mm-hmm.
But for not now, even it's now even more unrealistic with Harrison in the picture that there hasn't been a single mention.
Yeah, they're Harrison's blood brother and sister.
Yeah. So the only thing I can think of is it has to be deliberate. The omission of any updates about them has to be deliberate, and there's only 2 reasons that I could think of, and that's that either they want people to forget about them because they have no plans of bringing them back into the Dexterverse, and so they want the audience to forget about them, or they want the audience to forget about them because they're planning on bringing them back in a really shocking way. But I feel like that would be kind of like low-hanging fruit.
Yeah. I hope they bring him back some way.
Yeah,
but
I do too.
It really bums me out that they don't seem to be on Dexter's radar at all.
I know. Or Harrison's. Yeah, it's fucking
weird. It's weird that, like, why didn't Harrison go to them after Hannah died? Like, they're his family.
Yeah. I don't understand. What's your number 1?
My number 1 was Joy. I hated seeing Joy cry like that. What a great performance. First of all, I like, how devastating to find out, like, that huge of a secret that, like, she's in her mid-20s, and he's never, he's told Dexter his whole life story in 2 weeks, and he's never told his daughter. Like, that's crushing. I had a similar experience when I was like 18 of finding out like a weird, terrible family secret, and it rocks your world. And I felt so much sympathy for her, and yeah, that was painful. All of the scenes with the chimeras this week were physically painful for me.
Yeah, seriously. Except for Lanston stepping in with
that was a quill. She just had a little cup of tea.
Yeah. My number one is the ducking. Excuse me, Vivian. How the fuck do you miss putting up wheelchair ramps for an event that is for officers wounded in the line of duty? Like,
this scene was like, Dinklage was so intense and scary in this scene. You're like, he's being so professional and calm, but he's furious, and like even the way he's perfectly harmlessly bringing up the fact that he's saved this woman's daughter's life, but he's basically like, I'm gonna fucking kill your kid if you don't fix this. Like, seriously, the undercurrent of his emotions. He's so he's such a genius actor.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he really is. He's like, it's like he's patting her on the back and being like, "Don't worry about it. You got this." And then at the same time saying, "You better fucking do this, or your daughter's gonna die."
Yeah.
Let's go to our top 5 highlights. What was your number 5?
My number 5 was, what a great title. I like Hamilton. I'm a huge musical theater nerd. Hamilton's not like my favorite or anything, but I like Hamilton a lot. I love the references throughout the episode. That is the kill room where it happens. That's a good title. Excellent title for the episode. Knocked it out of the park for me.
Yeah, I liked it. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Okay. I need to ask you. I used to be a huge musical theater nerd. I'm not anymore. But so like any musical that has come out since like mid 1990s, I probably know nothing about. But I've escaped my musical theater past. But I have to ask you, if you could play any role in a musical, what would it be?
Gertrude McFuzz in School of the Musical.
Okay. Yeah, see, I know nothing about that.
School of the Musical is probably my favorite.
Yeah.
Which is a weird answer, but yeah.
Yeah, my answer would be Judas and Jesus Christ Superstar.
Hell yeah.
Or Simon, because Simon's song is the fucking best.
I love Jesus Christ Superstar. Have you
So
seen any
do
of the
I.
clips from the Hollywood Bowl where it was Cynthia Erivo and Adam Lambert as
No.
Cynthia Erivo was Jesus and Adam Lambert was Judas, and Philippa Sue from Hamilton was Mary Magdalene, and it was you gotta. I'll send you a bunch of clips later. It's incredible. Cynthia Erivo got a 5-minute mid-show standing ovation for Gethsemane.
Wow.
Yeah. She's just standing there weeping and weeping and weeping, and like can't keep playing because the audience wouldn't stop applauding. It was
my God.
Nuts.
If anybody if you're watching this or listening to this and you've never had any interest in musical theater, like Jesus Christ Superstar needs to be appreciated. It can be appreciated by everybody because it's just like the music is so fucking amazing. Like it's just a it's a true rock opera.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to do well, and it's incredible. It's an incredible show.
Like,
I'm not a religious person by any means.
Yeah, me either. But I mean, like, the fucking opening riff, because it starts with Heaven on Their Minds, which is probably, in my opinion, the best song in the show. And just that opening riff, you know, like, it's just, oh god, it's so fucking good. So good.
You've got to see the Adam Lambert footage. It's amazing.
Adam
he
Lambert
was made to play that role.
But yeah, that was your number 5.
Yeah.
My number 5 is, I don't know why I didn't grab a picture of this, but it was just, I mentioned this because I made him my I gave him my St. Rita award, but just Harrison and Dante's cute little moment.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Yeah,
I want more of their I want more of their relationship. I don't want Harrison to date Gigi.
Yeah,
he needs to be Dante's stepdad.
Like, okay, I was watching a YouTube video and somebody mentioned Elsa's age as being a lot older, but I think they were going based on the actress's age. So I'm like, okay, that would be creepy, because I think they were saying that. I keep forgetting how young Harrison is.
Yeah, he's only like 19, maybe.
I think he's like 18. But I don't think Elsa is the actress's age. I think she's very young. But yeah, I think that it's interesting to me that both Harrison and Dexter have this thing with kids, you know? It's very interesting. I like it.
It makes, like, when you have a traumatic childhood, it gives you a lot of empathy for kids who are going through difficult things.
It's so crazy to me that both of them were sitting in their mother's blood.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
So crazy. What is your number 4?
Did you know that was a rap show? That's the craziest sentence. Like, how have you heard of Hamilton, but you aren't aware that it was a rap show?
I don't know.
I thought that was so funny. Like, Eric Street. We've talked about him in not this episode, but he's just so funny. This character is so wild. Like, I'm glad he's made it to the end. I still hope Dexter gets him. I'm hoping like I don't know, that Charlie somehow had somebody like waiting for him in Hoboken to like bash in his knees and bring him back.
I think he knows who Dexter is.
I think he knows at least that Dexter is responsible for everyone else being dead, at the very least.
But yeah, I have a feeling he found out somehow. He said that he talked to Prater right before.
Yeah.
Like, and didn't call him, didn't call Dexter, who he was supposed to meet up with. He just talked to Prater. So I think Leon knows, and I think he tipped off Al.
That would make sense.
Yeah. But he Stone Street's so great in this role. He's got to turn back up. I mean, it's a loose end.
Oh, there's no way. There's no way he's going away forever.
I mean, I'm actually kind of hoping we don't see him again this season, and then he'll just like spring up next season.
I was going to say that like next season they'll open with Dexter and Ellie together killing him.
I like it. I like it. I could get behind that. So my number 4 was, I talked about this on the show before. I love bringing down scummy landlords. So like Constance coming in with the landlord tenant handbook, which I'm not even joking. I think I pretty much have the Chicago landlord tenant handbook memorized.
I love the contrast of what a good landlord Constance is versus how like evil and terrible Vinny is.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice
and by the way, when Dexter, and I love that Dexter is just like hanging out having tea with her. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to point out the fact that like when that scene started, she asked about the cat.
She did.
More attention
She
called to the
did.
cat.
The plot thickens.
That cat is like focused on so much.
That's Chekhov's cat.
It is. It's Chekhov's K-hole cat. Yeah. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is that Dexter tells Vinny he's there for his tenants, and he starts rattling off a list of like 15 people. He's like, who?
Yes.
Barbara? Steve? Is it Ed? Is it like he was like so many tenants hate him that he doesn't know who is trying to have him killed. That's funny. I thought that was a real. There's so much humor in this episode.
Yeah.
That cracked me up.
He did say Elsa.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did say Elsa.
He did say Elsa. But he says like 6 other names before he gets to Elsa. Like, he's so low on his list.
No, it's ridiculous. And people died because of shit that he did. Like, what the fuck?
Black mold is super dangerous. What's your number 3?
So my number 3 is I've done this like once or twice already before, but it's the killer soundtrack. I mean, it's
excellent.
Like the music, this scene is just absolute fire, and this episode was no exception. Personality Crisis by New York Dolls.
Yes,
that song. And Long Way Back from Hell by Danzig. I love Danzig. I love Glenn Danzig. I love Misfits. And not only are they great songs, but it's just it's perfect vibes for the world of Dexter.
Yeah, they are killing it with music, especially because there really isn't a lot of. There's almost no needle drops in the original series. I don't even.
Yeah.
The only like song I can think of them using is "Born Free." Season 1. Yeah. I can't think of them using any. Can't think of another.
Slow Ride.
Yeah,
I remember Slow Ride and Have You Ever Seen the Rain? Those were both in the same.
Oh yeah, that's such a great song.
And You Can't Touch This. Reunion.
Yeah.
Reunion episode. I don't remember. I know there were more, but what's so funny though is like some of those Spanish language songs were used multiple times. Like there was one that I swear was used like 4 or 5 times. And if you heard it, you would know exactly which one it was. You'd be like, oh yeah, I've heard this a million times. It was like what's his name? Anton's band was playing it in one of the episodes. But yeah, and no, it was not what was it? Guacamala.
Yeah.
Which the Guacamala mean skinny bitch. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the scene of Dexter shoving Vinny in his trunk as the guy walks by. Doesn't even register it. It's so New York. It was so funny. Dexter being like standing there with like the fucking pantyhose all over his face, and the guy's just walking by like zero recognition of that was incredible. It was such a real moment and so funny. I this episode, it's so good. I could have like a top 100 probably. But
yeah. I mean, as Chicagoan, I can confirm too.
Yeah,
because the same deal. Like what is he supposed to like acknowledge him? Like no, like
I've been mugged too many times to like not pay attention to my surroundings in public. Like I am always on it.
Yeah, I mean, I mugged. Okay. Funny story. I know it's crazy that I have a funny mugging story, but so I get mugged, right? Like right as I'm crossing, because I was on the opposite side of the street from my apartment building, and I was
Mhm.
just about to cross over. Just as I'm about to cross over, this guy cuts in front of me and pulls out a gun,
Oh
and
man.
he doesn't grab my purse. He like makes me get all the good shit out of my purse. Listen, this was an underrated device, okay? And it got so much shit, but I fucking loved it. I had a Microsoft Zune.
The Zoom was great.
I understand the hate that it got. I thought it was fucking awesome.
It's much better than the iPod. It was 1,000 times better than the iPod.
I
It's
thought so
crazy.
too.
Yeah.
I gave him, I handed over my wallet and my Zune, and he gave the Zune back to me.
That's rough. No thanks.
He took my wallet and my iPhone and then gave me my Zune back. If you're gonna be mugged, you know, it's great to at least have a funny story
Yeah.
from it.
One of these days I have to tell you the story about how I beat up my mugger, but we won't get into that now.
Ooh, I can't wait to hear about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, that was a very big city moment. Like after I was mugged, I was on super high alert, like even in the middle of the day.
Oh yeah.
But like probably after a year, I went back to just like burying my face in my phone or my like MP3 player or whatever. You know, you're so comfortable to it's
Yeah.
hard not to just fall back into like
There's so many people around all the time too. You want like it gives you intimacy, like you have like your own space, kind of.
yeah. That's a really good way to describe it. I like that. That's yeah, that's very accurate.
What's your number two?
My number 2 is I don't know why I found this as amusing as I did, but I mean it was amusing, but I just like I literally laughed out loud for like whole minutes when I saw Al's suit. He got an entire suitcase just for souvenirs.
I didn't even catch this.
And what's so great about
That's
it
so
is
funny.
he bought a number 1 dad license plate
For himself.
for himself.
What a freaking well thought out character Al is.
I know. Oh my
That's
god,
so
I love
funny.
it.
I did
I
not
love it.
even see that. And I watched episode 3 times.
Yeah, I did too. It's also kind of tied. It's also tied with Dexter finding the AirPods and smashing them because
Mhm.
that was an interesting moment. Like,
Yeah.
you see,
I
like
can't
just
believe it took him so long to check the passenger side. Why wouldn't
no,
you start there?
right?
Like, he was in the car with you for like 3 minutes. Like, how do you think he got it back into your trunk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Um, what's your number 1?
My number 1 is the scene of Vinny getting his well-deserved desserts. um, I
Yes.
really enjoyed. It's fun to watch him knowing that he's not going to murder him. Just seeing what he was just going to put a scare into him.
Yeah.
I thought that scene was really great and it was funny, minus the tiny bit of homophobia there at the end. But it like character's been so awful this whole season so far, so it's nice to finally see him get a little bit of what he deserves.
Yeah, no kidding. Um, Yeah, my number one, it's going to pantyhose head. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that yeah.
Everything about this was just too fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so you look at him like this, and he's ridiculous enough with it over his face, but then he lifts it up, and it's just sitting on his head like a lopsided hat. You could
The
clearly see
one
the crotch.
leg, like wrap, like turban wrap. Yeah.
Yes, it's very Dexter humor.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I really think he's wearing 2 pairs of pantyhose because, like, I could not get this one pair, and I got the biggest size that I could find. I could not, like, I mean, his legs are so skinny. Like, I think he had, but seriously though, I love the absurdity of it because it's like you think at first, oh, he's wearing a wig cap because he's at a
Mm-hmm.
wig store, but no, Dexter just has pantyhose.
There's so many other choices he could have made. If like he's in New York, he could have picked up one of those face masks anywhere,
Yeah,
and he
yeah,
went with pantyhose.
yeah. I
Weird
get.
call, bud.
I think it was a great choice. um, honorable mention goes to the cat that keeps getting focused on.
Yeah,
Like he shook the cat when he realized that the angel was tracking him.
he
He
did.
went back to his apartment and he shook the cat. I was telling my husband this because I'm like, I'm trying to, pick his brain as a non-viewer. And like,
Mm-hmm.
and he came back to his apartment and he shook the cat. He's like, "What? He shook a cat?" No, it's a ceramic cat. What have you been doing while I'm gone?
Cats won't just let you shake them. That's
Yeah.
really difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, something is up with this cat. It's gonna be significant somehow. It just the camera keeps focusing on it. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand it. I'm yeah. It would be kind of amusing if it was just a matter of it used to belong to the Mooney family. And it was just like a phone call back. It was just like if they found that out later, oh, this cat used to belong to Trinity. But yeah, I have no
I
idea.
love that theory.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea how this cat could be significant later on, but I assume it will be. It's like there's got to be some kind of opening in the bottom or something, and someone's gonna hide something in there, or like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Um, I just thought about something.
Hmm.
So Angel was upstairs teaching Blessing how to salsa.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think maybe he picked Dexter's lock, and like maybe snuck something into the cat somehow? Like
Well,
that, I mean, the camera.
if he had that, he would have found it then.
You think so? I mean, what if he taped it up really good and it was like really tiny?
I don't know. Well, because when he gets there, Blessing is outside. So I don't know when he would have
Yeah.
had the opportunity to like sneak. I mean, he could have done that another time,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I don't think so. I feel like they would have shown it.
Yeah.
Like they made such a big to do with the AirPods.
Yeah.
That would get him in so much trouble. That would put
Yeah.
him in
Seriously.
jail. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that'd be
I
wild. I
just
don't know, maybe, but
I mean, he's already committed enough felonies at this point. Like,
right?
but what, like,
What's another?
Yeah, like Angel's just racking up felonies just for fun these days. Like he wants to be on the other side of the law now.
Which means he should
but
be friends with Dexter.
right. But I have a I'm so sad. I wanted to start doing this thing this week where we give a shout out to some of the people behind the scenes, but I unfortunately somehow lost my notes.
Oh
Um
no.
yeah, it sucks. And I can't find them. So unfortunately we'll have to wait till next week, and there's only 2 episodes left, which is kind of a bummer, but I just think it's really cool to acknowledge the people behind the scenes, or even the people playing like extras, bit parts.
It takes hundreds of people to make a TV show. And
Yeah.
it is like people love to shit on Hollywood, but it is a hard job and a long day. Like it's a minimum of 12 hours on almost every show.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's not an easy business. And people, the majority of the people working in Hollywood are blue collar, like craftsmen and janitors and medics and costumers and makeup people. Like they're on their feet all day long, like keeping the machine going because you need it. It's really hard to make a show look good.
Yeah. And let's just take, like, people are so ignorant about how much actors make.
Oh my
I
gosh,
mean,
yeah.
it's like people have this idea that you say 2 words on a show and you're like rolling in the bucks.
Mm-hmm.
So let's take Reese Antoinette, for example, who plays
Mm-hmm.
Joy. Like, there are probably people out there thinking like, "Oh, she's on Dexter. She's rich." Like, even though she has her role is like she's playing a minor character. She Most people like that are playing that level of character, I would expect them to be like living in shitty apartments, having second jobs on the side. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
actors do not make as much as people think they do.
SAG minimum is like $1,200 a
Yeah.
day. Or yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not. It's especially now that we're in the age of streaming. There's almost no residuals, which what used to be what actors lived on,
Right.
and nowadays they don't. That's one of the reasons the strike happened, is that they've taken away that safety net, and now like a lot of older actors can't support themselves.
Yeah.
And it's yeah,
Yeah.
it's a hard industry, and only 1% of the actors that are working are making like I think it's 11 of the people in SAG qualify for insurance, work enough hours in a year to qualify for insurance.
Wow.
Like
Damn.
that's yeah. It's not, if you're not, even if you're first on the call sheet, it doesn't even matter depending on what the show is and what network it's on. You might not be making that much money. It's not everyone is like, I don't want to use his name. I don't like him anymore. Not everybody is uh Tom Hanks,
Yeah.
or Meryl Streep. Like not everyone is making $1 million a picture or
Yeah.
even an episode.
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. Um I but we'll start doing that next week. I wish I had thought about doing that sooner. I'm so bummed that I picked
I
people
love that
out.
you had that idea.
Yeah, well, like I randomly picked people out, and I'm so bummed that I lost my notes.
We'll just do an extra long one next week for
Yeah.
do them all.
Yeah, we can definitely do that. So, I have to ask you, so do you think that Quinn was deliberately the tone that he was taking with Wallace. Do you think it was just a matter of him like, what the fuck is Angel doing in New York? Or do you think that he was like trying to insinuate, somehow imply that Angel was not to be trusted because he knows about Dexter?
I think he was sincerely acting with shock.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows Dexter's in New York. Like, Angel doesn't tell them anything. He's just like, I have been at business. I gotta go. So
yeah, that's true. He probably, yeah, I doubt he said any. Yeah.
I doubt he even knows. Like, I would assume that Quinn still thinks Dexter's dead.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know why I didn't think about that. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder who the captain is over there.
Methuselah. Yeah. Probably not Quinn, so.
Yeah, but he is a lieutenant.
Yeah.
Lieutenant now, at least. which I'm kind of surprised. But I mean, I guess he's getting up there in age. I just want to say I heard of such a fun theory this week that I thought was so great. It doesn't work out. It totally fails, but it was such a fun theory that I had to bring it up. I saw a YouTube video, somebody pushing the theory that Charlie's mother, Mildred, was Tanya from Original Sin, Sarah Michelle Gellar's character. Obviously, this YouTuber did not realize that Charlie's mother has a name that we know, like that her name has been established as Mildred, because we only saw it on a piece of paper.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a really fun theory because
that is interesting.
Yeah, like the things that he brought up were that Tanya was super into horse racing and betting on the races, and like I forgot what else. And Charlie went to that betting place to find the dude. I can't remember what else he used to support his theory, but I thought that was really interesting.
That is an interesting. I mean, Mildred maybe they're both using aliases. Yeah.
You never know. Although, like, Sarah Michelle Gellar is like 5'3" or 5'4", so
yeah.
And Uma Thurman's what, like 6 feet tall or something?
Yeah.
I mean, her dad would have to be huge if that were the case. He'd have to be in the NBA.
Oh, why can't I think of his name? I'm so bad at basketball, man. Larry Bird.
Yeah. God,
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Larry Bird could make Uma Thurman, I think.
You think so? That's funny.
She's very happy with Freddie Prinze Jr., so I don't wish that on her.
Yeah. You know what? We've been talking about how great this season is, but I need to just point out one thing. Major kudos to the writers for giving Angel this storyline where we're all expecting that he's going to die. Pretty much, I don't think anybody thinks he's going to live past the season.
Yeah.
And they're managing to set him up in a way to like let us down easy because everybody's so frustrated with him. So like they're making the audience frustrated with him without like I've seen it so many times where shows will do that. They'll try to make you not like a character to lessen the blow.
Yeah.
And the writing is almost always super messy.
Yeah, they are not tanking his character like at all, I don't think.
Yeah. No, I think they're doing such a great job with it. I mean, they're making it interesting and we're all like really captivated by it. We're not like calling it sloppy writing, but we're still like expecting him to die, and we're going to be less sad about it when it happens because everybody's so frustrated with him and just thinks he needs to get out of the picture at this point.
Yeah.
As hard as it is to say that because he's been, in the Dexterverse for 20 years. But yeah, it's major kudos to that. But do you have anything to add before
I don't
get
think
on
so. I feel like we covered it.
All right. Well, we will. Don't forget, we've got live after shows every Sunday. Alien Earth after show every Wednesday night, and we're so sorry for getting this one out a little bit later. We got sidetracked by some health issues, but we should be back on track for next week. So thank you for your patience. We really appreciate it greatly. Check out the we're going to start recording season 3 of the Daryl Dixon Walking Dead spinoff. So that'll start soon. We're getting ready to record our first episode this week. That will be available on the new Cyborg Queen podcast. And if you're listening to this, you can always check out our YouTube channel at Cyborg Queen Media. Make sure you include the media because otherwise you'll get something totally different. If you're watching this, you can look for the Antler Queens podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. That's where all of our Yellow Jackets and Dexter coverage lives. Everything else we cover goes on to the brand new Cyborg Queen podcast. But thank you all for hanging with us, and we will see you guys real soon. Bye.
Bye.